Akash Deep, what a performance. That was simply sublime. And he has shown that he deserves a place in the team. Shubman Gill, he's under the most immense pressure that you can get. As a captain of the Indian team right now, taking after Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli leaving the test format, it's the biggest pressure that you can get. And he's just excelling it like nobody's business.
This England team is not capable of doing anything apart from winning test matches on flat tracks where the other team's bowlers fail.
The England cricket team, the English media, they all took this Indian team very light.
He didn't blame anyone. He was asked about the tailenders crumbling 41 for 7 and 31 for 6. He said, no, I won't blame them. It is us batters who have to take the responsibility. When we get to 100, we need to make it big on these pitches. If he gets this much movement on a flat pitch, imagine you giving him a bit of grass, help from the surface. We are back in the sledging room. Saurabh and Alan join me for this week. Saurabh, let's dive straight into the topic. Talk about the biggest event in England this week. What is it, Virat watching Wimbledon?
Okay.
Was it needed, the reactions? Oh, why is a 36-year-old retired cricketer watching a 38-year-old Djokovic playing? So many reactions like that. Saurabh, you were also saying that when Dhoni comes here, they go, oh, ah. But when Kohli comes, they look at his body language. They talk about his marriage. Poor guy. From one photo, we have inferred so many things.
Yeah.
Unnecessary is what I think. And this topic is also a little unnecessary. Let's drift away and talk about what we came here to talk. The fantastic win for Team India. You know, I genuinely believed after the Leeds defeat that probably this team will be cornered here. With the style that England played, they chased 370 odd in the first test on the 5th day. And I thought, okay, that's how it's going to be. Maybe India might do well and still lose. That would be disheartening to see, like what happened in Leeds. But in Birmingham, Shubman Gill showed that, okay, we are a young team. We don't have the superstars, but we still are the best cricketers in the world. As in, can you discount that fact that Shubman, Rishabh, Karun, all of them are finest among the finest? Did you expect that, Saurabh? Did you expect the win? Did you expect the win, Alan?
See, to be very honest, no. Because of how the team was set up. Like I said, the first 3 hours of the day would have all been about, if you looked at it, you had Aaron Finch, you had Tom Moody, you had everybody talk about, oh, why is Bumrah not playing? You want to win and how are you not going to do it without Jasprit Bumrah? Why is Kuldeep not playing? So this was the storm that was surrounding the Indian team. You had people trolling Gambhir, you had Ravi Shastri come out and publicly slam the team management saying that this is not the right team. I cannot agree with it. And a lot of comments were made. And that day I had written how amidst all this commotion, it was that calmness from Shubman Gill that should have gotten the spotlight, that how he played that innings. So once he got to 100, I was like, okay, Shubman has always been that guy who gets to 100, but he does not kick on and like get to a big score, like how Rohit Sharma used to do in ODI cricket. Then he went, then he continued going. Then I think England and everybody was like, is he going to go score a 300? Finally, he got tired and he lost it. And that was it. And then the second innings, my God, that day 4, I still remember the commotion here. Everybody was like, when are we retiring? When are we retiring? Declaring. Sorry, I think Virat Kohli made me say retirement. But that moment also, like, it was so exciting to watch that team play. And on day 4, you did not know like what is going to be their next move. It was absolute carnage. I think Gill went from 10 of 20 or something to 161 from 162 balls. It was just pure carnage. And we gave England, a supposed England team that is known for their bold batting, a taste of their own medicine. So that was absolutely brilliant to watch. Day 5, I had to travel a little bit here and there, so I did not watch it. But Akash Deep, what a performance. That was simply sublime. And he has shown that he deserves a place in the team. So, yeah, I did not expect it. But the way the win came, it was pure joy at the end of the day.
I still remember Saurabh texting me on day 1 morning, as in afternoon here, morning there, that I want Gautam Gambhir to be sacked, India to lose this test, lose this series. He was so miffed with the team selection that, we all knew that Bumrah might or might not play. They didn't confirm it until the 11 was out. But eventually Bumrah didn't play. And then Kuldeep didn't play. 2 wicket-taking options not playing. Prasidh retained after an ordinary test in Leeds. Saurabh, what was the mindset tab and how did it change over the course of 5 days?
See, if you talk about the mindset, this Indian team, with whatever happened in the first test, I had bare minimum confidence on this team winning this test match. Especially when you don't have someone like Bumrah and a team which has a pace unit of Siraj, who has always worked hard, but he was not getting those wickets. Then Prasidh Krishna, oh my God. Amongst all these things which has happened in this test match, Krishna was, I think, the only concerning point for us, for the amount of runs he conceded in the first test and the second test. And especially, to be very frank with you, the way this transition is happening, like midway, you saw after the Australia series, Rohit retired, then Kohli retired, and then we all expected Bumrah to be the captain, but Bumrah, citing the workload concerns, did not become the captain. Shubman Gill was handed over the responsibility. And I will not shy away from the fact that I was the one who questioned the move. We three were doing the podcast, and then I was the one who said that, how is this a wise decision? For a batsman who has not scored runs overseas, how are you giving him that most important role, the captaincy of Indian Test cricket team? But Shubman Gill, for all the criticism that he faced from all corners of the world, hats off to him for what he did with the bat. Because yes, I'm not taking anything away from Akash Deep. Taking 10 match wickets on that pitch was sensational, especially after fighting that personal, or whatever you say, a tragic moment is happening in his life. But Shubman Gill's batting, the captain of Indian Test team, his second match as India captain, and he's scoring 400 odd runs in a one Test match in England. Even on the flat tracks, how much did Ben Stokes score? How much did Ben Duckett score? What is Joe Root doing? And then you see a Shubman Gill just batting it out. And the best part for me was they targeted him with short balls, and the way he dealt with that short ball tactics. He spammed them all across the ground for sixes and boundaries. And him and Rishabh Pant, when they were batting in the second innings, it looked like, oh my God, this is what Bazball is. Not that fraud England team, because England team is a fraud team. To be very frank with you.
It's a funny thing because I was looking through the stats. So we had to write a copy about what Shubman was doing. So he scored 500 runs. So Sabya told me he scored 500 runs and he's the second batter to reach 500 in India versus England tests for Indian batters. So I was like, okay, so who's got the highest runs? So he said Virat Kohli. How many runs? 593. I said, this will be broken today only. It's 4 innings and he scored 585 runs at a staggering average, 300s in it. That is like how Ravi Shastri said. He batted like Don Bradman and his captaincy was 10 on 10. And you did not expect it. Like, I am pretty sure there were a lot of people when we were questioning Shubman Gill. I said, Shubman Gill is going to be made captain. You and Saurabh said, why is he being made captain? Sometimes it's like, there was this one WWE reference I'll make. It was a long time back. There was an interview where Triple H said, you take a lump of coal. Now that's just carbon. You apply pressure on it. You apply so much pressure, it either becomes a diamond or it breaks under the pressure. Right now with Shubman Gill, he's under the most immense pressure that you can get. As a captain of the Indian team right now, taking after Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli leaving the test format, it's the biggest pressure that you can get. And he's just excelling it like nobody's business. And also, like how Saurabh said, this whole plan of Bazball backfired because they set up a pitch which is perfect for Indian batters. I don't know what Ben Stokes was saying. Oh, this felt like a subcontinent pitch. Yeah, you can't play there. That is your biggest.
And cry there also.
You will come and cry here, and now you are crying at your home ground. So
But look at this: Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill seems like an upgrade at the moment, right? And Kingshuk Kusari and Alan John. The most logical, the most science we have spoken in a single episode of Sledging is apply pressure to carbon. When that man sits here, there is no logic. He would have probably defended Bazball. He would have probably said, oh no, you can't provide these flat pitches. all those nonsense. But I'm happy that someone is talking logic and science in this room. Good. But yeah, Saurabh, you were saying something.
No, so when he talked about Ben Stokes, one thing which I have realized watching Ben Stokes in last 6-7 years, yes, there was a period when he was a match winner. But now, every time he gets out, he makes it look like it was the ball of the century. Like any bowler from any country comes up, even if that bowler is bowling his first over. Sundar was bowling his first over in England, right?
Yeah.
First ever test over in England. He has played first class cricket. And he removes Ben Stokes, and Ben Stokes makes it like, oh my God, how is Shane Warne bowling to me? And this is what this guy has done. I was listening to an English commentator. I can't name him. I don't remember his name. But he said, whenever you question the England test team, you question Jack Crawley, you question Oli Pop. But do you know who is the only batter in that top order and the middle order who has not scored 100 in the last 3 years? Ben Stokes. So the captain, for all the hype that he has, and like our King Shukusari says that he has the aura, he's the most aura-less batsman that you will ever see in English conditions.
Yeah. And more importantly, I think he's now under immense pressure.
He should be.
You could see that from the body language of that presser, and even the interviews that he gave to the English broadcasters after the interview. He generally is very relaxed and he looks at things in a very different way. But that day he looked a little flustered, as in to admit that these were subcontinent pitches was a thing. But the body language itself, because your opposition captain has scored 430 runs in a single test match, and here you are getting out to a, like he said, a spinner who's bowling for the first. Yes, of course, that ball drifted in like anything. I think I read a stat saying no other ball from a spinner in England has drifted as much, 5.6 degrees or something, since they started recording these things in 2006. So that is one thing. But the first innings undone by a terrific bouncer. Even in India, when he came in 2024, at that time it was called the Pataudi Trophy, right?
Yeah.
Now it's called the Anderson Tendulkar Trophy. He got out to Bumrah on a couple of occasions and he made it look like,
he dropped the bat.
He dropped the bat, all that.
It was a normal slow
Yeah.
See, I think what Michael Atherton was saying, I was also very surprised with the fact that Ben Stokes, after the first test win, said he had gone on a complete break. He was a shadow of himself. He was not looking, he had completely shut down. And now Michael Atherton is saying, well, he needs to do that in the next 3 days to lift this team up. Now, how will he do that? My question is, when the pressure is there, you saw Shubman Gill. He was probably not proactive in that first test. He was a little out of sorts when he got hit by Bazball. But in the second test, he was proactive. He knew what he had to do. Yes, he bid his time. He knew that, okay, England were going. But then this was a pitch, this was a track where nobody could do anything. He knew that his bowlers were getting hit, but he waited till that second ball came in. And then he brought back, he had his fresh bowlers coming in and they finished them off in what? 34 for 5? Last 5 wickets fell for 34 runs. Why is Ben Stokes not getting that idea? Like, Brendan McCullum comes out and says that, yeah, we made a mistake with the toss. Like, how many more mistakes will you make? Like, I wrote that piece where I was very highly critical of the Indian team when they lost the first test. And I said that you can't be fooling around saying that, transition can't be a reason for us to say that, oh, we are missing out on a WTC final. This England team has not played a WTC final. They've not been in contention. They've either been docked slow over rates. That has been a recurring theme. You are constantly putting up this thing where, oh, we play for the enjoyment of the sport. We are the saviors of Test cricket. What are you saving? You are not saving anything. You are not leaving a pitch that is good for Test cricket. You are not playing Test cricket properly. And then you are saying that you are trying to save Test cricket. Ben Stokes has to be questioned. Like how Saurabh said right now, why are there no questions about Ben Stokes, the batter? Ben Stokes, the bowler, got saved in the first test. Second test, he was ineffective. What is he doing as a captain as well?
I saw one argument. I think it was Atherton and Hussain on Sky Sports, part of that wonderful episode of podcast that they released on 6th or 7th. In that, they were asking about Ben Stokes. The same question was being discussed. But then they said, one of the best win records in the modern era by an England captain. But is that the yardstick? Is that the yardstick you want to have? But Joe Root, by all means, was horrible in the later half of his captaincy.
Yeah.
Like when he came to India, when India went there, even in West Indies, England couldn't do anything. So if that is the yardstick that Stokes is being measured on, then it's fine. Then he's okay. But like you both pointed out, if the goal is to make it to the World Test Championship, he even spoke about it. Like it's we have to win to make it to the World Test Championship. But I had a simple question. 608 was the target.
Yeah.
And you had a little over than 3 sessions to... But the thing is, why didn't they go for a draw? Are they not built? See, you say that, okay, we don't do draws. That's the thing. We don't do draws.
Yeah.
Is it you don't do draws or you're not capable of doing draws?
You know, if you ask me, this England team is not capable of doing anything apart from winning test matches on flat tracks where the other team's bowlers fail. The moment you see that the other team has a bowler who can actually get some purchase of the pitch, who is getting the ball to nip in, this England team falls flat. And especially if you look at this England team, like Alan pointed out, you know, Rohit Sharma was sacked after 2 bad series as a captain and as a batter. He won the series against Bangladesh. He lost 3-0 to New Zealand at home. And then he lost to
Australia,
where he was captain in just two or three test matches. Fine. But in England, you see Ben Stokes, he's losing everywhere. Where did he win a test series? Tell me. Pakistan, he won a test series. Oh, great. Even Bangladesh won a test series in Pakistan.
Flat tracks.
They drew the Ashes at home.
Oh, that is a great achievement.
Yeah.
And you know, with this England team,
I think they morally won matches in India also, right?
Yeah.
Like
the moral wins are always there for England. Ben Stokes, McCullum. Especially, I remember on day 5 when Shoaib Bashir hit a 6 of Sundar or Jadeja. The English dressing room they were celebrating it like they have won the Test Championship. And it was very absurd for me to see that yes, your tail-ender is hitting those 6s, but you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, like 3 months ago, like how you celebrated one follow-on.
Yeah,
avoiding a follow-on.
We avoided the follow-on.
We saved the match. We saved the match.
Yeah, you are losing a test match. You are completely outplayed as a bowling unit, as a batting unit, as a fielding unit.
They do things differently, Saurabh.
They don't do jack.
Like, let me tell you, you said that England cricket, Ben Stokes is one of the greatest England captains of the modern era. And you asked the question, can England cricket be a yardstick? Let me tell you, Virat Kohli has more. If you count Virat Kohli's singles in ODI cricket, he'll still be the 5th highest run getter for England in that format. So England cricket is not a yardstick for anything. Let's start with that.
But now, they have the home of cricket. They have the crowds coming in.
The home of cricket, everything you can say all these things. But you need to show the cricket to be a good for that, right? You need to show the cricket that, okay, you have the name Lords. That means you are the owners of the thing. You have not, you have invented cricket, your team is not good enough. You have invented many sports, your teams are not good enough. It's just simple fact that it's just the arrogance. Okay, you saw England and Bazball doing some magic in Pakistan, which I think even Bangladesh did. Like you said, no disrespect to Bangladesh as well. They outplayed Pakistan. Pakistan were being outplayed till they started using pitches that were turning. Before that, they were being outplayed. Then coming to your question, can they get a draw? They don't have people to get a draw. Can a Ben Duckett play that Hashim Amla role where he was, I think Hashim Amla and AB de Villiers were 3 for, I don't know how many, 100, 200 balls. Can they do that? Nobody is there. Maybe a Joe Root can do it. Apart from that, Harry Brook cannot do it. That is not his natural game.
But Harry Brook is better than Virat Kohli, is what they claim.
Generational talent.
Harry Brook is like Viv Richards' aura, Sachin Tendulkar's talent, and the temperament of someone like Virat. That's how they make it look like, right?
Yeah, that is.
As in, on flat tracks in Pakistan, he scored.
And that is the biggest joke I've ever heard. Yeah. Because this English team, if you look at...
if you really want to, Bazball can be anything. They don't want to define it. They will kind of define it whichever way they want to. But if you can't play for draws, if you think draws are bad, then go back to that Sydney test. Go back to that test where AB de Villiers and Faf du Plessis gave their heart out. What is this? We don't do draws. They could have easily been 1-0 before Lords.
Absolutely.
On that pitch, had they applied themselves, had one batter, stuck along with someone like Joe Root, they could have easily played for a draw there. If you can draw that match in Sydney against that bowling attack, Hazelwood, Cummins and all of them, drawing here could have been easier, is what I thought. You could have been 1-0 if you had played with that attitude to come to
and
Lords.
let me also be very fair on this. The England cricket team, the English media, they all took this Indian team very lightly.
Yeah.
Before, every single time you could see, oh, Archer has to be ready for Ashes. Archer has to do this to be ready for Ashes. Markwood has to be ready for Ashes. Indian series is a build-up for the Ashes. You go to Ashes, I'm telling you, this team will get drubbed again. They will get drubbed. There is no other chance. They took this Indian team lightly because Virat Kohli, R. Ashwin and Rohit Sharma, 3 match winners gone. Oh, this team, what is there? Ravindra Jadeja, who is towards the end of his career, a young bowling team. Bumrah will not play more than 3 tests. Shubman Gill, will put some pressure on him. He's going to crumble under that pressure. We have done that with multiple captains. What is Shubman Gill going to do? And Shubman Gill went there and he was always, you look at his press conference, he's a very educated guy. Maybe he might be a little too smart as well in his brain, but he's very educated. He never showed any aggression on the mic. He was like, this is the thing. I'm looking to become the best batter for my side in the team. People said a lot of things. People had problems with his Prince tag on his cricket bat. That was also a problem in our country. Now, where are those critics? There's nobody there. But when you look at the England team, they make all these statements. They go on making statements after statements that, we will do this, we'll do that. If they made these statements and they outplayed all these teams that have come in, they won the Ashes, they beat India in India, they beat India in their home conditions, I would agree to it. They are not doing anything. They have not reached a WTC final. They will not reach a WTC final. They cannot play for a draw to save themselves. Now there were questions, did Akash Deep bowl a no ball? For God's sake, man, your best batter got bamboozled. Accept it, move ahead.
Yeah.
You have 3 days to prepare for Lords. They still don't know which pitch they want. They want a spicy pitch. They want a honey glazed pitch. I don't know what they want with their play. Their concept is irritating at times. Yeah. And that is the biggest problem.
The cheerleading for that is what irks me. As in, like, okay, Brendan McCullum doesn't come out in the open and say this is Bazball. But the cheerleading for that is a little over the top at the moment. Yeah, that comment, when you say, okay, best England captain in the modern era, look at the stats. Who are the England captains in the modern era?
Joe Root. Nasir Hussain himself.
But if you want to play with that yardstick, then probably every WTC final will be a battle between India, Australia, South Africa. Maybe Pakistan and Sri Lanka might join that. Or New Zealand might get there.
You might actually say that Alastair Cook is one of the most classical players and a little bit on the boring side. But that England team was way better than this.
Absolutely.
That team came to India and beat India.
Went to Australia, won the Ashes.
They would have done draws. They would have done this.
They would have been smarter.
When Akshay said this England team says that we don't do draws, it's like me saying I don't want to meet the Prime Minister of our country. Because I can't meet the Prime Minister of my country. They can't do draws. Yeah. They don't have the means to do it. This English media and English media is the biggest culprit because they have this colonial mindset. The best moment for me was not in the test match. It was in the post-match press conference when Shubman Gill was asked that a fellow journalist from Britain reminded you of India's horrible record at Edgbaston. Then the way that guy replied, it was sensational.
The way Shubman has handled himself.
Yeah.
Like, yes, he began training during the IPL and all that. He was told, I think, well in advance that he would be the captain.
You will be the captain.
And in the first test, India didn't drive home the advantage. They were 431 for 5 and then gotten bowled out from there. And Shubman, when he walked out for that after Leeds test press conference, he didn't blame anyone. He was asked about the tailenders crumbling 41 for 7 and 31 for 6. He said, no, I won't blame them. It is us batters who have to take the responsibility. When we get to 100, we need to make it big on these pitches. And he did that. He just walked the talk in the second inning. He never looked like he'll get out. Yeah. The moment he got to his 100, he reset. Like Sunil Gavaskar always says, when you get to 100, don't think that you're done. You've done something. The work. Just start again. That's what Gill did. And the conviction in his batting, he never looked like he'd throw it away. In the second innings, he was unbeaten, I think, right?
No. He fell out. He got out trying to go for it.
Yeah.
So in the end, but when Ravindra Jadeja and Washington Sundar was playing, Yeah, so the way he has, handled himself, handled the press, I don't know, as in like we all question this move, but in the hindsight, it might be something that happened to Virat as well, right? In 2014,
Yeah.
he was a very flashy character, but you never knew that he would do this to Test cricket. As in,
Yes.
what he did to Test cricket, I don't think even if Gill scores 40 hundreds from here on, can be done. But the impact that some people handle the burden of responsibility well, and
Very
I
well.
think Gill is in that.
I think there were a lot of people, even during my gym also, they were like coming and asking, bro, what is this? Like, you made him captain and he's scoring runs. He couldn't score a 15-over season. What has happened to him? I said, he is that player. When you look at that under-19 batch, he was the standout.
Yeah.
A lot of media hype went to Prithvi Shaw, a lot of other players as well. But this guy was the standout. And there is a reason. He stood up in that pressure game against Pakistan when others did not. Scored 100. And he has that aggression streak in him. I remember Kingshuk telling during one of those episodes that I just want him to be aggressive. But he doesn't do that. He knows when to be aggressive. He knows when to put in the accelerator. But he never shows it outside.
That 269 was aggression only. What was it? What else was it?
Yeah.
Like people say, okay, Dravid might not be aggressive, but to stay there and to throw a dead bat at Shoaib Akhtar in that heat, that's aggression for you.
Yeah.
That everybody reacts to situations differently. Virat's aggression is in your face, but that won us Test matches.
Yeah.
And there have been people. Saurav Ganguly has been differently aggressive. Ricky Ponting has been. Inzamam Mulak, would you say that he was not aggressive? He might look the most laid back cricketer that you have ever seen. But he had the steel of, he had nerves of steel, and he did what he did for his country, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's that day also we discussed that it's unfair to typecast aggression, like people, you don't want Shubman Gill to be Virat Kohli. Shubman Gill should be Shubman Gill, and he has started showing that I will lead from the front. I want to show that, okay guys, he is telling Rishabh Pant by doing this, Rishabh, if you get to 100, it's not like you will start playing your those shots. You have to drive home the advantage. And against this England team, if you had given them a whiff of 400 is the target in the final innings, we were all discussing that also, right? Did we declare an hour late? But they knew that 600 on the board would be a very moral advantage as well.
I think Marcus Trescothick came that day saying that, oh, we are not stupid. We will not try to chase it. But in their minds, that I also said, was it an ego trip? Or was it a statement that we are making? It was almost like, okay, you chased almost close to 400, now try chasing 600. Try and do it.
Yes.
We challenge you, try and do it. I think that is the mentality. My only problem when I talk about Gautam Gambhir as a coach, there are such great moments, but there is inconsistency. I don't know, inconsistency probably in terms of his statements, maybe his team selections. I think that has to go. Like, I think I saw yesterday Manvinder Bisla's tweet saying that, oh, when he did this, everybody was on his back. Now, when they won, oh, it's all Shubman Gill did this, that. Please give him the flowers as well. Yeah, we are ready to give him the flowers. Probably what Gambhir, I think, what I feel he needs to do in Test cricket is that maintain a consistency with the team selections. Like, probably give chances to people who should be there. Maybe, this time around he made the correct calls. He brought in Akash Deep, everything worked. Maybe stick with this team, or depending on the next track, maybe bring in a Kuldeep if needed. But maintain that team selections. Don't go just by the thing. I think I was one of the people who was not happy with Harshit Rana's inclusion for the Australia series. He has not done anything. He was a young guy. He's still trying to find his feet. Let him find his feet and slowly come in. Maybe that is where Gambhir as a coach has to improve.
But at the same time, I also think that he backs his instincts and picks players on instincts. Like Ravi Shastri picked Bumrah as in he was looked at as an ODI one-day white ball bowler, but then he brought him in. I think Gambhir wants to take that gamble, but he does it a little, overdoes it a little bit.
That is where...
Like Harshit Rana. Like Washington Sundar is backing from the home season, as in like he has been backed ahead of Ashwin. Like that's something, okay, maybe you wanted to see that, okay, maybe I want an off-spinner who can bat a bit like Ashwin. Maybe he knew that Ashwin didn't have miles in his legs and Ashwin also quit it. But as in like, it's now time to give him credit, right? As in Gambhir stuck to his guns. When we all said that, okay, we might not need that extra batter, he picked that extra batter and that worked. Jadeja scoring 89 odd runs in the first innings and adding 200 with Shubman Gill. And then Sundar's 42 might look separate, but then he also had 120, 130 runs with Jadeja, with Shubman Gill. So instead of ending up with another 430, 450, we got 580 odd runs, right? So I think you need to give him credit, but at the same time, whether when conditions demand it, can he play five specialist bowlers is something that we need to look at. But now you have the cushion to do that, is what I think. Maybe you drop a Washington Sundar, you drop a Nitish Reddy, and then play another pure batter or a bowler, whichever demands the game. But I want to ask you both one question. Can India drive home this advantage and win this series from here on? Or do you think England can fight back?
Before I talk about this, let's spend some minutes about Akash Deep. What a performance. So the guy makes his debut against England in a home series. His first wicket was Benducket. And in that spell, he made it look like, yes, he is ready for the international stage. Then when we go to Australia, he plays the matches. And yes, there are times when you realize that this guy needs to be more disciplined in his bowling. There are a lot of no balls. But when he's on song. Especially the way he took out the wickets of Joe Root, Benducket. And I was looking at a stat. So do you guys know that the last overseas pacer before Akash Deep to take 5 England top batters remove 5 England top batters without taking any help of any fielder, it was Michael Holding in 1976. And Akash Deep has done that.
Yeah.
And he actually registered any Indian bowler's best ever bowling figures in England in Test cricket. What a performance from that guy. And on top of that, when he came out for that chat with Pujara and he mentions that I dedicate this performance to my sister who's suffering from cancer and she is going through the toughest period of her life and I have been battling it mentally but I never made it public. Hats off to him, hats off to his family and all the love and prayers for her sister.
Yes.
Sensational performance. He made the ball talk. In the first innings, I remember Siraj picked up a 5-wicket haul and Akash Deep was the one who took the catch.
Yeah.
And Siraj came out and said that it would have been better had we both taken a 5-wicket haul and would have given the ball to Akash Deep because pehla panja bahut special hota hai. And in the second innings, it was Akash Deep who picked up a 6-wicket haul and drove India to a famous win at Edgbaston. What a performance. Absolutely sensational. Hats off to that guy. And I believe now our coach, our management, our captain should back this guy for at least a couple of series.
Yeah.
If he's fit.
Is he the next Mohammad Shami then?
The way he's bowling, he looks like Mohammad Shami.
I think we have got that again. We've got that trio. We had Shami missing. We were thinking who's next. We were all banking on Arshdeep. We were banking Arshdeep as the main horse, but I think Akashdeep has come in and kind of showed that I am here to stay. I think the wicket.
He did that as well. So
the wicket celebration of I think Joe Root saying that I am here to stay. So that shows because now the competition, like we have always been saying, we need another pace battery. We need another group of pacers coming in. We have had so many names come in and fade out. This guy is here to stay, and he's showing that. He showed that from the first day that he got a chance to come in. He was bowling well. Both him and Siraj, I've always said, I've always felt that they've been a little bit unlucky. Sometimes catches not going their way, sometimes certain decisions not going their way. But they kept on it. They kept on. First innings, it was Siraj who showed the way. Akashdeep gave us the breakthrough. Then second innings, it was all Akashdeep. And credit to him. It is never easy to go through such a personal turmoil and be out on the field to bowl with that intensity. There are going to be moments where your concentration might go here and there and you might go back home in your mind. But he did not. And that was the best thing of that performance. That
throughout his life, he has faced quite a bit.
Yeah, he's lost his father, he's lost his brother, moving from Bihar to Jharkhand and then from Jharkhand to Bengal, where he's honed his craft. He's worked under the guys like Mukesh Kumar and Mohammad Shami, all these guys. They are also now they are also looking from the outside at him and trying to, compete with him. Now he's gone level with those guys in terms of getting his team. So, he has to be backed. And that is where I feel Gambhir should show that consistency. Yeah, okay, now I'm getting a core. I'm getting a nucleus of what my team will look like in Test cricket going in the future. He said that with the ODIs and the T20I side. Now it's time for him to set it with Test cricket, and that's where he has to show consistency. And if he does, then probably all the haters become lovers again, because
Turning critics into fans.
Yeah.
Great. But now, Varun Aaron also made a very good point on air that Akash Deep doesn't hold the ball tightly. He holds it with his fingers only. So he can get that backspin, and that causes the extra seam movement. Once the ball hits the seam, it just... And he was constantly hitting those cracks.
Yeah.
Like on the fourth and the fifth day.
I remember that dismissal of Harry Brook. I cannot stop laughing
that
because
was-
he could not even... I don't think he even saw the ball.
Yeah.
He was left like... I think he got hit badly. He was limping. That was the worst side that... Apart from getting bowled and getting your middle stump uprooted, I think that is the worst side that you could have. And that he was served with. So, yeah.
But tell me now, as in like, can India drive home this advantage, or do you see England doing something crazier in the third and fourth tests?
From all the stories that I have been listening and reading after a test match, there is a lot of panic in the England dressing room, especially with their bowling unit, because they have not been able to pick 20 wickets.
So you think James Anderson will be back?
No, they are going to back Gus Atkinson and Jofra Archer if Archer is fit, which they feel that he is fit. So I think they are going to change the nucleus of that bowling attack, and they should change the nucleus of the bowling attack.
What about their batting?
Their batting, I
See,
don't think
Bumrah
they-
and Akash Deep and
Yeah.
Siraj.
Yeah.
Siraj, of course. Siraj's workload has to also to be monitored. Something that needs to be monitored. How many can he play in this day? Because in Australia, Bumrah was on and off, and he bowled all through the 5 tests. Yes, he didn't play the Champions Trophy and all that. But yeah, what about their batting? England's
Yeah.
batting. Can they
So-
handle Siraj, Akash, and Bumrah
Yeah,
on
so-
a Lord's pitch?
I also listened to the England coach, Brendan McCullum, where he was talking about Bethel. That Bethel is sitting on the bench. He's an exciting prospect. He can bat number 3, number 4. He can spin the ball. And I think he'll do a better role as spinner than what Shoaib Bashir has been doing in the last 2
So
sets.
they don't beef up the batting by bringing
Yeah.
in Bethel.
But I think McCullum refused it completely. He said, no, he will not replace Bashir even if he comes back. So I think they will make one batting change also. They will back him.
Ben Stokes out, Bethel in.
No, not Ben Stokes. I think they will do away with someone like Jack Crawley.
Or Oli Pope.
Oli Pope, I don't think they will move because in the first test he scored his 100 and he has done what he does in every series.
Bethel can open, is it?
I think he can bat at number
Bethel
3.
has batted at number 3.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if they are kicking out Zach Crawley, I think they'll have to go for a different... See, this is the problem. Like, you don't have any specialist. You don't...
See, there are 2 specialists. I'm giving you a simple solution. Bring in Alistair Cook to open. Still can do a better
He'll,
job.
he'll bat better than
he'll-
everyone, even
in
better
that-
than
in that-
Zuru.
yeah.
And then get James Anderson back.
He will.
If possible, get Stuart Broad also back. Bas.
That is what... Yeah. And then we
That is
all...
their
But
best shot.
now, are we taking them lightly? See, I still think that they will do something very wacky in the third test and,
See,
smash
I-
some 500, 600 runs.
I have one point to make. I am not taking them lightly because it is their home conditions and they have been manufacturing pitches according to their needs.
Which,
So I
which India also does.
expect them to go and win the Lord's Test.
Okay.
It will be an embarrassment for the great Ben Stokes, the aura full Ben Stokes, and the Bazball inventor Brendan McCullum if they lose the Lord's Test. Because all they have done is hype their team, do nothing, win nothing, they can't draw test matches.
They don't do draws. They don't do draws.
They can chase 370s against India when they're flat tracks and India drop catches. Mind in that. Had India taken catches in the first test, we would have been 2-0 up.
That's not their mistake.
No,
Yeah.
it's our mistake. I'm telling you. But this England team, they should ideally go and win the next test match, even after whatever happened in second test. Because it's their home ground. And they have everything in there. Because this team is settled, right? I think in 2022, these two came together. And since then, they have been together. They have got all the backing from Rob Key, ECB, the English media, everyone, despite being not Jack. So they should win the next test match. I'm not taking them lightly. If they don't win it, it's a big embarrassment on the face of Bazball, McCullum, Stokes, Rob Key, ECB, English media, everyone.
But what kind of pitch, Alan, do you think they'll offer? A green turf or a similarly flat track?
I don't...
Or somewhere in between?
See, it all depends on, I think, that combination of Gus Atkinson and Jofra Archer coming in. How fit are they? What is their levels? If a Jofra is there, I think they're going to put a spicy pitch, a little more bounce. That might be expected. But then again, you have got Bumrah coming in. He's going to exploit that. They have left themselves in a pickle where it's like that team needs to be, for me personally, there's a lot of things that has to be solved. It's not the bowling. It's not that Bryden Cars did not bowl his heart out or a Josh Tongue did not bowl his heart out. It's the quality is not just there. You don't have that quality. You put a Bryden Cars or a Josh Tongue out in subcontinent conditions, they're going to get whacked everywhere.
They got whacked in England. So
They got whacked in England.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a subcontinent pitch only.
But
Birmingham.
you understand the element of risk that is going to be there when you have a Jofra Archer coming back. How long has he not played Test cricket? 4 years.
Yeah.
Can he handle it? Because
And one first class match in between.
19 overs is not your criteria. That is what Ben Stokes is doing because he has had multiple injuries. This guy also has had similar injuries. You don't expect him to bowl 19 overs. In 19 overs, he is not going to probably pick up 6 or 7 wickets also. So it depends on what level Jofra Archer is and on what level Gus Atkinson is. But both of them are coming from injuries. I don't know how they are going to mix it up because this Indian team is hungry. They can genuinely see that, okay, this is the time that we can drive the advantage in. If, like how Saurabh said, if they lose the Lord's Test, I genuinely don't see a way back for
Yeah.
England because this Indian team can draw. They can draw matches. They will draw matches also. They will fight till the end to draw a match.
Yeah.
But England cannot do that. And that is where the problem lies.
I think they kind of thought that we'll give them flat tracks and outbat them. But after seeing what Shubman and Rishabh did and Jadeja and all of them did in the second test, it's kind of a rude awakening for them. Like, you now don't know what to do. If you provide a flat pitch, Gill is waiting.
These guys are going to...
Gill is waiting. If you provide them a spicier pitch in London, Bumrah
Bumrah is
is
waiting.
waiting. You already can't handle spice. You complain about it. Now you prepare a spicy pitch and see Bumrah and Akash Deep on. If he gets this much movement on a flat pitch, imagine you giving him a bit of grass, help from the surface.
And
You
do-
know,
Huh.
what about a fish and chips pitch? Brits love fish and chips, right? They don't love spice, they don't love bland, love fish
So
and chips.
what would that pitch be? What would that pitch be like?
So when England bowlers are bowling, it will help the bowlers. When England batters are batting, it will help the batters.
Yeah.
And the weather conditions, like Clouderson used to do,
Yeah.
as he's famously known as, for all
Come on.
I am not doubting his age, but
Yeah.
people blamed him.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is how they expect to win test matches. That is how they will try to win the test matches because I don't see them having a potent unit which can outbat the Indian side or on a flat track or outbowl the Indian side on a spicy track.
I was thinking maybe this might be the end of the hype around Bazball, as in like England might be forced to rethink. Like Alan pointed out, they were thinking ahead to Ashes, but a couple of these guys might not even get to Ashes if this is how, like I still remember Tim Payne saying, you come to Gaba, we'll see you there. And Ashwin telling him that you come to India and then saying, no, you might not even come to India.
It's like you go to Australia, you have a problem with the spice here.
Yeah.
You go to Australia, they're going to give you even more spice.
Yeah.
And
For England's sake, I hope Jofra Archer comes good and Gus Atkinson. Jofra Archer, it's not easy bowling, like you said, 20 overs.
Gus Atkinson is their new Jack Cullis apparently. That is how he is hyped as. The next all-rounder.
Yeah.
Good Lord. This is where the media has to stop. I think I saw this tweet by Piers Morgan saying that, feed them somebody trolled him for whatever
the
stake.
The Bharat Army trolled him.
Yeah. He said feed Jofra these I think some cuss word he used. I was like, bro, you feed Jofra, if he's not 100%, Shubman and Rishabh Pant will take him down. That is what happened in the IPL also.
Yeah.
Who did it?
Huh?
Who did it? Who remarked this on Twitter?
Piers Morgan.
Oh, he's another joker. A big joker, as you call it. Never take him seriously. Nobody takes him seriously.
So that is the whole point. You're bringing these guys back. Okay, second test I was worried. Oh, Jofra is back. Oh, Bumrah is not going to play. And then this team stood up. The captain stood up.
Yeah.
Your captain is not standing up. Your captain is every single ball, I think I should go and bowl at him, try to get him out. He'll be like, oh my God, where is this bowler? Who is this bowler? India is producing new bowlers. He'll lose that also.
For Jofra's sake, they can't do flat pitches also. Imagine that guy bowling on a flat pitch, and he would say that, okay, I'm not playing Test cricket anymore if he gets a pitch like Birmingham.
To be very honest, he should not be playing Test cricket as well. Because he is just coming back. You're putting him in the deep end. And unfortunately, that deep end does not have a deep end.
I mean, this guy played 3 or 4 IPL matches. He got injured. How do you expect him to play a whole Test match?
Exactly.
Yeah, that is warm up for Ashes.
And
They
he-
probably bowl 5 overs and walk away.
And I don't know what England cricket team wants, but for the sake of Test cricket, for God's sake, please give a sporting pitch. Don't roll out flat tracks because it just does not look like good for any bowler. That whether it be a British bowler or Indian bowler, you're just bowling your heart out. No help from the pitch. The batters are accumulating runs. Don't shorten the boundaries for God's sake.
Yeah.
Play normal Test cricket if you can.
The
and stop.
post Broad Anderson era, Anderson has looked ordinary.
Absolutely.
Chris Wokes.
This work is done, I think.
Chris Wokes is, I think, what Jeffrey Boycott said. He does not have a sell. He's past his sell date.
Yeah.
It's done.
I wish Jeffrey Boycott comes to the commentary box and watches Stokes bat and says he's rubbish.
I think-
Absolute rubbish.
He must be saying this in front of his TV screen.
Because
Bazball is rubbish.
this man can't bat, neither in England nor in India.
and that is the whole thing. Like you pointed out, like how we want sporting tracks, right? In a sporting track, where there is a good competition between bat and ball, there is going to be a two good teams. This whatever you might say about England, they have a style or whatever that has worked for them.
Yeah.
Right.
In fact, it won't be bad if you prepare a good spicy pitch and you get India bowled out for 280, 290, which probably might be a good score. But then one of them ticks. If Harry Brook ticks, smashes Bumrah for a couple of sixes and then gets the rhythm, they might actually level the first inning score and go for the second inning shootout. I don't know why they were very timid in providing these pitches against this team. Maybe they should go for it. That's their only choice now.
No, now I get the fact that, okay, you want to drive your team's advantage. But you were underestimating the other team. That is what they did. I think the only thing they could catch at one point was Rishabh Pant's bat flying here and there. They could not do anything else. They were completely on day 4 when that batting assault was happening. It was a proper assault. I was surprised that England did not have any ideas. I don't think there was... If Rishabh Pant would have got better connection on it, his bat would have gone for a 6 and the ball would have also gone for a 6. That is what I felt. But apart from that England team, apart from those chances that they got, there was nothing in it for them. So why put your bowlers through that shame? Why put your bowlers through that shame where a guy almost scored 2 twin double hundreds against you? Why put your bowlers through that shame? They don't deserve it. Your batters are anyways crap. Apart from Joe Root and maybe Ben Duckett to an extent, Zach Crawley always comes out, he's a walking wicket. Might as well send Shoaib Bashir there. Let him hit a 6 and let's all rejoice, I guess. Than seeing this Zach Crawley struggle.
Yeah, I hope England are listening to this episode and then, giving back in Lords to both of you especially. One of you saying that, Zach Crawley instead of Shoaib Bashir. You are questioning Harry Brook's greatness. I don't know where it's going to end. But quickly before we go, any changes to this 11 apart from Bumrah? Bumrah is coming back in place of whom first? Tell me that.
Prasidh Krishna. Any day. You can't have the bowler who's leaking runs.
Or rest Siraj for this match. What do you think?
No, I don't want him to be rested.
I want to see this trio work as a unit.
And I also want Kuldeep to get a game. I know Lords is not the pitch.
So give me your 11 then.
So my 11 is simple. I will have...
So say Lords has a little more spicier pitch than this.
So if
not a flat track.
If not a flat track, I'll make 3 changes. Again, a whole song of changes that I have made in last test also.
Sitting in Gautam Gambhir's seat.
So KL, Jaiswal, okay, Karun. I'll give Karun one more test to prove himself. Then Gill, then Pant, Jadeja, and then I will give Nitish. Nitish, I will give another chance. Yeah, I will give him one more chance because he's played just one test there. Then I will bring in Kuldeep
in place of Washi.
Yeah. Then I will have Akash Deep. I will have Bumrah and I will have Siraj. And obviously Jadeja is part of that playing 11.
Yeah. So you made two changes.
Two changes.
Two changes.
I thought I will bring in Shardul Thakur, but no, that will shorten our batting unit a lot. So give Nitish Reddy one more chance, at least one more test. He deserves it.
I think I'll probably maybe give Sai Sudarshan a chance instead of Karun Nair. I think that is the
I
only...
think you're just chopping and changing too much if you do that.
Huh.
Like if
But
you've
then-
told Sai Sudarshan you have to wait for your chances, let him wait.
Let him
give
wait.
Karun
Yeah.
another.
I don't have a problem with Karun Nair being there. I think in that first innings he looked very good. Second
He's
innings,
taking good slip catches, so let him be there.
let him be there. Yeah. Keep Jaiswal away from all that. Just tell Jaiswal to bat. You just bat. Rest we'll take care of things. I think that is pretty good. Apart from that, I want to see this.
Akash Deep, Siraj and
This
Bumrah.
trio unleash hell on England. If they crack under that trio, then good luck. The series might be done. Because the last two tests, I feel India can draw them and just take the win and go.
Manchester and Oval, right? Yeah.
Manchester,
What about you, Akshay?
Rain.
Rain will take care of Manchester.
Yeah. But for me, if it's a spicy pitch, if they leave grass on the day of the test, like 2 days before the test, everybody leaves grass. But if there is going to be spice, I'll just make two changes. Bumrah in place of Prasidh, and I'll put Washi out and bring Akash Deep in. I don't want Kuldeep there because probably two spinners won't get you anything.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So 4 pacers, out and out pacers, go for the kill. If it's a spicy pitch, otherwise I'll just make one change. Get
That is
Bumrah in place of Prasidh. I'll still want to, just be safe with my batting for this test. Yes, Kuldeep should get his chance, but not at Lords, is what I think.
Okay.
I think also, if we are making these predictions, we should also rope in our listeners and viewers to make their predictions, to get their views on what they thought about Shubman Gill at the start of the series and what they think of him now after 2 tests. And also, are these two guys going overboard with their criticism of England and Bazball and Ben Stokes and the next gen king Vivian Richards, Harry Brook? You can send in your thoughts on 8588 966 996. If you're listening to us on Spotify and Apple Podcast, please do rate us. And if you're watching us on YouTube, like we always say, please leave your comment. We'll be more than happy to learn your feedback. Thank you. Have a great week. Have a great Lord's test. Thank you.